Picture this. In the dead of night, when the world slumbers under a blanket of shadows, a man steps out his door for a simple errand, only to vanish like smoke in the wind, leaving behind a trail of whispers and unanswered questions that echo through the ages. These are the tales that grip the soul. Stories of folks who walked among us one moment and slipped into the unknown the next. Their fates tangled in webs of mystery that no detective or scholar has fully unraveled. Gather close now, for these accounts will send shivers down your spine, reminding you that even in our modern world, the darkness holds secrets that refuse to stay buried. You're listening to Ham Hock Horror, and these are 4 unsolved disappearances that will chill you to the bone.
Delta Sierra Juliet, and confirm you cannot identify the aircraft.
That's not an aircraft. Delta Sierra Juliet, salvage.
In the vibrant 70s, when disco beats thumped and skies buzzed with amateur pilots, Frederick Valentich emerged as a young Australian aviator, his heart set on conquering the heavens from his base in Melbourne. This 20-year-old, fueled by tales of daring flights, logged hours in his Cessna, navigating the vast southern coasts with a mix of skill and youthful bravado. On October 21, 1978, he lifted off for a routine hop to King Island, radioing air traffic control with clear skies ahead until a strange encounter shattered the calm.
Can you describe the aircraft? Delta Sierra Juliet, Roger. How large would the object be?
He reported a metallic craft hovering above him, its green lights pulsing like unearthly eyes. Engines faltered as it circled before his transmission cut to static, and he vanished over Bass Strait. No wreckage or body were ever recovered. The incident sparked an immediate scramble, with rescue teams covering the waters for days, finding only oil slicks that matched no known vessels. Valentich's final words, etched in logs, described the object as elongated and swift, defying earthly designs, fueling whispers of otherworldly visitors, snatching him from the blue. His family pressed for answers, while officials sifted through his logbooks, noting his fascination with UFO lore that might have colored his perceptions. Yet the absence of debris puzzled all, as if the sea had claimed him whole. As the 80s dawned with space shuttles and Cold War tensions, investigations expanded, with sonar dives and aerial surveys yielding naught but empty waves. Theories ranged from disorientation in the dusk to a staged hoax for fame, though his clean record and calm demeanor argued against such notions. Witnesses on shore reported odd lights that night, streaking across the horizon like comets, adding layers to the puzzle that baffled experts. In later decades, as technology advanced with satellites and deep-sea probes, divers revisited the strait, unearthing plane parts from older crashes, but nothing tied to Valentich. Paranormal circles embraced the tale, with mediums channeling messages of abduction to distant stars, while aviators debated atmospheric anomalies that could mimic craft. Recordings of his voice preserved in archives, still send chills, his confusion palpable in the crackling ether. Valentich's fate remains a beacon of intrigue in the night sky, a pilot's last flight into the inexplicable. While some analysts propose a simple plunge due to mechanical woes, seasoned ufologists highlight sightings that align with his account, suggesting realms beyond our grasp. The mystery captivates. A silent call from the stars that leaves you gazing upward, wondering what lurks in the vast unknown. During the swing era of the 30s, when big bands ruled the airwaves and dance halls pulsed with rhythm, Glenn Miller rose as a trombone maestro, his orchestra churning out hits like "In the Mood" that set feet tapping across the land. This Iowa-born musician, with his signature sound of clarinets over brass, built an empire of melody that captivated millions, his records flying off shelves amid the gathering storm of war. By 1942, with America plunged into the fight against the Axis powers, Miller enlisted at 38, trading his tux for a uniform to boost morale with his Army Air Force Band, touring bases and broadcasting tunes that reminded soldiers of home. In December 1944, as Allied forces pushed through Europe, he boarded a small plane from England to Paris for a concert, only for the craft to vanish over the channel, swallowed by the gray skies without a distress call or wreckage in sight. The news stunned the world, prompting frantic searches by Allied planes and ships that scanned the icy waters for any sign of the band leader or his pilots. Theories erupted, from enemy fighters mistaking the plane for a target to mechanical failure in the fog-shrouded flight path. Miller's wife clung to hope, but days turned to weeks with no debris washing ashore. Given his high-profile role in propaganda broadcasts, some whispered of a secret mission gone wrong. As the war came to an end and peace dawned, investigations delved deeper, with reports of a friendly that might have clipped the tiny aircraft midair. Others speculated on sabotage by spies embedded in the ranks, envious of Miller's fame or seeking to dampen spirits. Amateur aviators and historians revisited the case, analyzing weather logs and flight plans for clues overlooked. Modern sonar sweeps of the channel floor turned up wartime relics, stirring debates on whether a certain twisted propeller belonged to his plane. While aviation experts lean toward a tragic accident in poor conditions, veteran researchers note anomalies that hint at hidden truths buried in classified files. The awe of it envelops like a fog, inviting you to ponder if his spirit swings eternal, lost in the rhythm of the unknown. Back in the bustling days of 1919, when Toronto stirred with the energy of vaudeville theaters and grand operas, Ambrose Small reigned as a kingpin of entertainment, his pockets lined with gold from a string of playhouses that drew crowds like moths to flame. This shrewd businessman, known for his sharp deals and unyielding grip on fortune, had just sold his empire for a cool $1 million, a sum that could make any man dream of easy living. But on that fateful December 2nd, after pocketing the cash and bidding his lawyer farewell, Small stepped into the wintry streets and was never seen again, his disappearance sparking a frenzy that turned the town upside down. Detectives scoured every alley and questioned his circle, from his devoted wife to shady rivals, yet no trace emerged, not a footprint in the snow or a whisper from the underworld. As the weeks turned to months, rumors swirled, painting Small as a victim of foul play, or perhaps a clever fox who staged his own exit to escape debts and scandals that shadowed his rise. His mansion stood silent, its rooms echoing with the ghosts of lavish parties. The police dredged rivers and raided gambling dens, unearthing nothing but dead ends. Even a hefty reward from his wife failed to loosen tongues that might hold the key. Some whispered of a curse from jilted performers or a betrayal by trusted aides, but the truth remained elusive, buried deeper than any grave. In the roaring 20s, as jazz filled the air and prohibition loomed, the case grew colder. Yet sightings poured in from far-flung places, each more unreliable than the last. Investigators chased leads across borders, from New York to Mexico. But each trail fizzled like a dud firecracker, leaving only frustration in its wake. His wife's inheritance battles added fuel to the fire, with accusations flying that she or her secretary might have orchestrated the vanishing for gain, though courts dismissed such notions. The media feasted on the drama, turning Small into a legend of the lost. A tycoon who outsmarted fate itself. By the 40s, with wars raging and the world in turmoil, the search had dwindled to dusty files in precinct basements. But amateur sleuths kept the flame alive, poring over old letters and maps for clues overlooked. Modern forensics revisited the tale in recent decades, suggesting perhaps a mob hit tied to his gambling habits or a simple accident in the urban maze. Yet no bones or belongings ever surfaced to confirm. Paranormal enthusiasts point to eerie happenings at his former theaters. Lights flickering and voices calling his name in empty auditoriums, as if Small lingers in the wings, directing his final act from beyond. Today, Ambrose Small's enigma endures, a puzzle that taunts historians and thrill-seekers alike. In the turbulent aftermath of the Civil War, when the nation licked its wounds and rebuilt from ashes, Ambrose Bierce emerged as a biting wordsmith, his pen carving tales of horror and satire that chilled readers to their core. This veteran soldier, scarred by battles like Shiloh, turned his gaze to the grotesque, crafting stories in San Francisco's foggy streets that danced with devils and the dead. By 1913, at the ripe age of 71, Bierce grew restless with American life, declaring his intent to wander south into Mexico's revolution. A land torn by Pancho Villa's raids and federal clashes, he boarded a train from Washington, penning letters along the way that brimmed with his trademark wit until he crossed the border and vanished like a ghost in the desert sands. The mystery ignited when his correspondence ceased abruptly, after he mingled with rebels, observing the chaos of warfare with a journalist's eye. Friends back home waited for word, but none came, sparking searches by diplomats and family that visited battlefields and villages, hoping for any sign of the sharp-witted author. Rumors abounded of him joining Villa's forces as an advisor, only to be executed as a spy or felled by stray bullets in the heat of skirmishes. His Devil's Dictionary, full of cynical barbs, seemed to foreshadow his fate, as if Bierce had scripted his own enigmatic end. As years rolled on through the Great War and beyond, theories multiplied like weeds in a forgotten garden. Some claiming he staged a hoax to escape fame's burdens, holing up in Europe under a false name. Others pointed to bandit ambushes or desert fevers that claimed many a traveler in those lawless times, with witnesses swearing they saw his body either dumped in a gorge or buried hastily under cactus thorns. Literary circles debated his demise, with some insisting his sharp tongue offended the wrong revolutionary, leading to a quiet knife in the dark. No grave or relic ever turned up, fueling endless speculation in books and articles that kept his name alive. In the mid-century, as radio dramas retold his tales and Hollywood eyed his works, psychics and explorers ventured into Mexico's Badlands, unearthing old rifles and bones that stirred hope but proved false leads. Paranormal tales emerged of his spirit haunting battle sites, a shadowy figure reciting verses amid the ruins. as if Bierce refuses to rest until his story finds closure. Ambrose Bierce's vanishing remains a riddle wrapped in the dust of history, a testament to how even the wittiest soul can slip through fate's fingers without a trace. Those are just a handful of the most mysterious disappearances I have in store for you. So be sure to subscribe, otherwise, who knows what else might vanish without a trace.